Hello YouTube and welcome to the channel, another video here. So we're on week 4, day 4, leg day. So today is Sunday, April the 6th. Starting off with front squats. So this is the first warm up. Because I'm only doing 2 sets, I've decided to do 5 warm-up sets instead. Before I was only doing 3 warm-up sets. So I've basically just been increasing the sets every week. First week was 3 sets of 8. The second week was 4 sets of 7. And then last week was 5 sets of 6. So I'd always do 3 warm-up sets before doing those. But now this is like a little volume deload. So the load is high. I'm still lifting heavy weight, but instead of doing 3 to 5 sets, I'm only doing 2 working sets on this week. So this is the final warm up now at 130 kilos or 287 pounds. Just doing some doubles, pausing the last rep of each set. So this is the first working set of 5 at 150 kilos or 330 pounds. Just using a belt only, no knee sleeves or anything. This was actually quite comfortable actually. Noticed a little pause there on that last rep, the 5th and final rep. And now the second working set of 5 at 160 kilos. So notice there I actually just lost a bit of balance there. I just came out of my groove, but luckily I managed to sort that straight away. This 160 was actually quite hard, to be honest. I did sort of struggle on the last 2 reps. But yeah, I got it done in the end. So that's 353 pounds for 5 reps. Moving on now, stiff legged deadlifts. 2 sets of 12. This is the first set at 140 kilos or 308 pounds. Notice I'm doing it in a slightly different area of the gym. It's only because it was busy on the other squat racks, so I had to move to this one. So where I'd normally use bumper plates for these, I'm just using these new weight plates they got. So the first week was 2 sets of 20. Week 2 I dropped to 17 reps, and then last week I did 2 sets of 15. So we've dropped 3 reps now to 2 sets of 12. Second and final set at 170, and this was quite hard, but I could have done a bit more. I was quite happy with the way that I kept the stiff leg there, but when I touched at the bottom it was a bit uneven there, so the weight did jolt a little bit. So I'm just trying to go down. So notice that it's getting that position every time, so obviously a little bit uneven there, but again got it done. I need to sort that for next time. Single leg press, really pleased with this today. So just a little warm up with 60 kilos each leg. So yeah, the protocol today was to just do a 10 rep max on these and then 2 drop sets of 10 reps, and yeah, I was really pleased with what I did here today. These single leg presses are really coming along nicely. Here we are now, the main set. Here we are, the main event. 100 kilos, 220 pounds each leg for 10 reps. This is the heaviest I've ever gone up to on these so far, and definitely going to be pushing these further. It's going to be really interesting to see what I can do next week. This was hard, but I know I can definitely go high on this. I was contemplating whether to go to 105, 110 or so, but yeah, I'll save it for now, and there definitely will be plenty more where this come from. Okay, then dropped 15% of that weight, so was using 100 kilos each leg. I've now dropped to 85 kilos each leg, and yeah, this was nice and comfortable really. I have this week 4, I have been feeling a little bit beat up, and failing that deadlift on day 2 didn't really help. So the next training session after this is probably going to be Wednesday, because I'm working the next 2 days. But week 5 day 1 and week 5 day 2 will be lower weights, so it's kind of like will be, although I'm not going to do any deload per se, I'm going to go on to week 5, but the first 2 days will pretty much be built-in deloads anyway, because I'll be going lighter on the log press, lighter on the close grip incline press, and then on the second day I'll be going lighter on deadlifts and lighter on good mornings, and yeah, pretty much the assistants as well. So hopefully by doing 2 lighter days on days 1 and 2, hopefully that should allow me to claw back a little bit of recovery, because I have trained hard now for 4 consecutive weeks in a row, and I'm starting to feel it now. I felt good doing this training session, but I did feel a bit crappy afterwards. So moving on now, calf and tib raises, 2 sets of 20 on each. So this is my tib. I only filmed the second set, but I've changed the calf exercise, so this time I've elected to do them seating this time, just to spare load on the spine really, and just to really focus on them calves. I think this is the first time I've actually used this machine, and on set 1 I did 40 kilos for 20, and I weren't expecting it to be that hard actually. I was expecting it to be super easy, and it wasn't. It was actually quite difficult. So for the second set I've only added 2.5 kilos, but yeah, I'll be adding to that very gradually in the coming weeks. Weighted sit-ups, just the 1 set, 5 kilos now. I've dropped to 8 reps. When I go back to this, I'll probably use the same weight, but I'll try and do 2 sets and just try and gradually increase a bit of volume on these, and try and do 2 sets instead of 1 like I've been doing. And now moving on, the final exercise, axle bar holds behind the back. I was really happy with what I did here today, to be honest. So lately I've been doing 30-second holds. The protocol today was to do 20-second holds. So to do a max of 20 seconds, and starting off with 90 kilos or 198 pounds. And I'm not using any chalk either, but you know what, that was actually quite easy. So I went up even higher to 100 kilos or 220 pounds and held that for 20 seconds. So I was successful with this. This was hard though. I didn't go to failure, but I think I probably had about 2 or 3 more seconds left before failure. So I made this the main set, and then yeah, afterwards just 2 drop sets. So this is the first drop set. I've reduced the weight now to 85 kilos for 20 seconds. So yeah, basically just 2 sets of this. This is the first set of 85, and then I do another drop set with the same weight, 85, just for 20 seconds. So yeah, I was really happy with this. I'm now happy to have reached 100 kilos in the axle behind the neck, because it's not easy, it's very hard, especially when you're not using chalk. Although in fairness, if I use chalk, I find it doesn't really give me that much more. It does help a little bit, but not that much. But as it's an off season, I don't really want to use aids like chalk or anything where I don't have to. I'd rather just only use the equipment and the chalk and all that when I'm peaking and when it gets really, really heavy. I did hurt my wrist a little bit, as you can see on that last bit, but I think that's where my wrist is still a bit aggravated from the axle press that I did a couple of days ago. But yeah, all in all, a good session really. So yeah, week 5 will be coming up next, and the first couple of days I will be backing off on the weight a little bit really, just to help claw back a bit of recovery. So hopefully by day 3 I should be raring to go again and feeling better. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. Thank you for watching. If you're new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm normally doing about 3 or 4 of these training videos a week, and hopefully it should give you a bit more insight into how I do things.